Welcome to East Midlands Airport, or should we say the easiest Midlands Airport. The airport at the heart of the UK, flying to over 70 destinations. The easier airport with faster check-in and security that gives you extra time to relax and get in last-minute shopping. The airport that gets the kids on board before they get bored. East Midlands Airport, the easiest way to get away. To book your next holiday, visit eastmidlandsairport.com. Welcome to East Midlands Airport, or should we say the easiest Midlands Airport. The airport at the heart of the UK, flying to over 70 destinations. The easier airport with faster check-in and security that gives you extra time to relax and get in last-minute shopping. The airport that gets the kids on board before they get bored. East Midlands Airport, the easiest way to get away. To book your next holiday, visit eastmidlandsairport.com. Welcome to East Midlands Airport, or should we say the easiest Midlands Airport. The airport at the heart of the UK, flying to over 70 destinations. The easier airport with faster check-in and security that gives you extra time to relax and get in last-minute shopping.
Hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
The airport that gets the kids on board before they get bored. East Midlands Airport, the easiest way to get away. To book your next holiday, visit eastmidlandsairport.com.
I'll start, gents, by the way, when the players come out. Well, hello there and welcome to the stream on the Leicestershire website, or the Leicestershire YouTube I should say, as we bring you live T20 blast action in the women's format between Leicestershire and Northamptonshire, a local derby, and these two go into this in relatively decent form. It's a 10:30 start, Northamptonshire having won the toss and choosing to bat. The Foxes have won their last two, including a last ball win against Sussex on Friday, which I was there to watch. That was a thrilling finish. Northamptonshire have lost their last two. A defeat to Glamorgan on Friday, the latest defeat there for them. The table looks like this. Leicestershire are in third, with Northamptonshire in sixth, with Northants having won one of their three games, Leicestershire having won two of their three. As I say, Northamptonshire choosing to field in this game. And we'll see with you for the next few hours. Leaden skies above. I don't think there's any risk of rain today. It's not as pleasant as it has been over the course of the past few days, or to be fair, it was miserable yesterday, wasn't it, across the country? So it's clear as we prepare to get underway. I'll read you the teams in just a second. Becky Brooker and Faith Tika Singh, the opening batters, as Reed prepares to get us underway. It's a straight delivery. It's a beauty. First ball outside off stump. Nice bit of shape to that as it beats the bat. Mabel Reed, the bowler. So a swipe across the line from Brooker. She's lucky that narrowly missed her off stump. With a hoik across the line, that it has gone through to the wicketkeeper. Byes signalled. So Leicestershire off the mark. It's a really entertaining game. On Friday between Leicestershire and Sussex, we were there for it. It's a drop on the last ball which allowed the Foxes to run through and get the winning runs. Tika Singh to face her first delivery. So the two players out on the boundary. We've got a third man and a deep cover. Reed straight and defended. Slow start this from Leicestershire, but just trying to read the conditions. Just trying to look at the pitch. It'll be a new pitch. It's going to have 80 overs on it today. Bit of swing in the air by the looks of things. Good line and length from Reed again. So just the one bye from the opening over so far. One wicket win for Leicestershire. Emma Wrightson on her first appearance at this level. Reed in. And that's a bit of spit off the pitch, that, and a bit of bounce from Reed. That's a very good over. Just a one bye from it. So her figures, that's a maiden for Reed in theory. One for no loss at the end of the over. Tika Singh struggling to get bat on ball. Emma Wrightson with the last runs. 131 they chased down, 130 on the final ball. Whereas Northamptonshire, as I say, who have lost their previous two, heavy defeat, 33 runs against Glamorgan last week, or last Friday I should say. So it's going to be Phillips to bowl. Ella Phillips comes up now, tosses this up, and it's driven down the ground by Brooker. Slow start this from the Foxes. Again, no run. The pressure beginning to build, you would imagine. Particularly in the power play with those two fielders out. This time at deep backward square leg and deep mid wicket to Brooker, who goes back and can't get anything on that either. No runs off the bat so far. 8 balls bowled. Great delivery that, just tucked her up. Gave her no room to move at all there, Phillips. And again, it's trying to work it away on the leg side, which is surprising. There is a wide gap. There's no fielder out there on the offside. You'd think you want to lean into that and drive it through the covers. If you beat the infield, you'll probably get a boundary here at Uptonsteel Grace Road. That's a slightly straighter length, which has meant that Brooke is able to play the shot she wants to. As the first runs off the bat, off the 11th ball, of the 12th ball of the innings. So 2 for no loss at the end of the second over are Leicestershire. This game in Division 2. Brooker 40 runs from 3 innings so far and a best of 24. Tika Singh best of 26, 57 runs. She's yet to get off the mark from 4 deliveries as she waits now for Reed. He drives at this but sort of slams it down. Interesting sort of cross-batted strokes from Leicestershire so far to the straight balls. Long run up for Reed. Driven straight at cover. So Tika Singh, judging by the field, they're going to try and bowl wide outside off stump to her with that third man and deep cover. Balls like that, but that's a wide. So half of the runs so far coming from extras. We've had a bye and a wide. Hooked in the air just in front of short fine leg. Not a bad shot. Too straight from Reed, and so the idea to pull it round the corner was the right one, but there is a fielder there. And unlucky from a Northamptonshire perspective that it didn't go to hand. Flashed at this, and there's a fielder out there for that. That's flash square of the wicket to deep point. Tika Singh off the mark on the 6th delivery. She's on 2, Brooker on 2. So 4 from the over so far. In comes Reed, that's a beauty. Perhaps a little bit of shape away from Reed. It's going at 8 and over, yet to take a wicket in this competition. 6 overs that have gone for 48. So with the bat where she's probably been more effective. Best of 53, 118 runs, the top scorer. In she comes now, tosses this up, and that squares Tika Singh up completely. I've rarely seen a batter so squared up. It's the end of the 3rd over, with Northampton having won the toss and chosen to field. That feels like a sensible decision at the moment. 6 for no loss, the score. Phillips to continue, so 1 run. First over from the pavilion end. Down the pitch comes Brooker and drives at that. To mid-on. That one again. I'm just trying to force the issue a bit, Leicestershire, and I can see why. Charged down the track and lands just in front of mid-on. Made the right decision, the fielder there. I think because had she gone for it and gone for the dive, that may well have snuck past her and run away for 4. Best to save the 4. Nice sedate atmosphere. High white cloud above. South Africa flag fluttering in the breeze on the far distance. Phillips, that's a big hit. Over towards deep mid-wicket. There's a fielder out there who takes it. The trap set to Tika Singh and the frustration worked. Too many dot balls. 2 off 9 in the end for Tika Singh. She's holed out to deep mid-wicket. Tossed it up. Full delivery. Begging to be hit like that. And Tika Singh is out. Faith Tika Singh for 2. And Leicestershire lose their first wicket. 7 for 1 the score. Watch the replay now. Just that perfect length to tempt a batter into playing it out there. Decent catch on the boundary and limited reaction. Up the 5th wicket for Phillips in this season's T20. Lucy Weston, the new batter. Got 6 last time out. Bit of a slow start for Leicestershire in the previous game. They were 34 for 3 when Weston departed. It was Davis and Watson who put on the runs for them. So Phillips 1 for 2 from 1.5 overs so far. And she comes from the pavilion end. Or beats her outside off stump. Was that a drop? It's a beauty. I think that just held its line. Completely bamboozled Weston. What a horrible first delivery to get. Response from Weston is going to be that one did spin in this time. But nothing doing. No run there. Phillips again beats outside off stump. That was missed by a whisker. Good wicket keeping by Chloe Hill. What's the replay now? Just held its line again. Good variation from Phillips, and that is the end of her 2nd over, the 4th of this innings. Northamptonshire starting very well indeed. 7 for 1 of 4 overs in the power play. Brooker 3 from 12. Waits as Phillips continues straight and quick that on off stump, and they scamper through for a quick single down to mid-on. Hit just wide of mid-on. You're always wary of hitting it straight down the ground to the fielder and going for the run. That's always the most risky thing to do. An easy way to get yourself out. But that was wide enough that they could chance the arm, the two batters, and it was Brooker's call to the non-striker's end. Weston now on strike. On leading edge, and out! LBW Weston for a 4-ball duck. Big appeal immediately, and it looks straight enough to me. And Reed has to go. So Reed has a wicket, Weston has to go. And Leicestershire in all sorts of bother here. They are 8 for 2 of 4 and a bit overs. They're not getting runs on the board, and they're losing quick wickets too. ...28 runs in 4 innings now for Weston. 21 of them came in 1 innings. So the new batter in, Flora Davies, who was the main run scorer last time out. 40 off 36 against Sussex. That was the main contribution that allowed them to win that game. One for 5, Reed's figures of 2 and a bit overs. What a superb start for Northamptonshire, who came into this out of form. Bit of life in that pitch too, bit of spice in it as that forces Davis back off the first ball. Straight a delivery that time. Timing just looks a little bit off from the batters this morning, which suggests there's something in the pitch. There's some variation in bounce, maybe just some good bowling from Reed, taking the pace off a little bit there. That one's full outside off stump, and wasn't really a committed drive that from Davis. A little bit of a dangle outside off stump. It's worth going for. There's no fielders out on the offside. It's lucky she didn't get a feather on that. Driven, that one a bit more committed, but on a straighter line, and so it goes square of the wicket. That is the end of the over, and another very, very mean over from Reed. 1 for 5 her figures, just 1 run and a wicket, and with 1 over left in the power play, Leicestershire are 8 for 2. Phillips to bowl her 3rd over, the final of the power play. 1 for 2 her figures from 2 overs. Down the pitch comes Brooker and can't get that away. 4 from 14 deliveries from Brooker. In comes Phillips bowling finger spin. That does move back in to Brooker. And she plays across the line. That was a very risky run. It was misfield, and they barely even made it then. 5 off 15 from Brooker. Got to look up what the lowest T20 total, power play total for Leicestershire. 36, I think. Swept round the corner. And the fielder slipped, and that's going to run away for 4. That's really unfortunate. Not a lot Reed can do about that. Got to the ball and then slipped over. I'm just glad she's okay. But a decent sweep, this. That'll be the first boundary of the day, won't it? Splitting the fielders in the infield, and then just slipping right at the wrong moment. She's lucky she didn't come away with an injury there, Reed. So 4 runs. Phillips tosses this one up. It's driven uppishly and not timed. So first boundary for David. I think Leicestershire's lowest power play total is 36. Leicestershire's women. So they won't be getting that with 2 balls left in the power play. 5 off this over, by far the best over of the power play. Inside edge to short fine leg. They go for a run and get it. So that is 1 ball left in the power play. 14 for 2. Phillips. What a great Yorker. Totally misread by Brooker, who did well to dig it out in the end. And that is the end of the over. And what a power play for Northamptonshire. 14 for 2 is the score for Leicestershire, having put the Foxes into bat. Brooker 5 off 16, and then Davis with 5 there. But what, just 1 boundary off that power play in the end? Yep, from Davis, and that was lucky due to a fielding slip. So Leicestershire really under the cosh here. So change of bowling. That's going to be Russell to bowl from the Bennett end. And first delivery is outside off stump, and there's a thrashing drive from Davis and misses it. No run. It's guided away on the leg side. Bit of timing from Davis there. Every run feels like it's being squeezed out though at the moment. Inside edge. Bit of movement in that may well have been an off-cutter by Russell. He's gone at 10 and over, only bowled 4 overs so far in 2 innings. 1 for 40. Flashing drive again. Didn't quite get the foot to the peach of the ball and was playing along the wrong line there. Brooker, who's eating up a lot of balls at the moment. Just 3 from the over, 2 balls to go. 3 from the over, 1 ball to go now. So the run rate at the moment for Leicestershire is 2.5. And that's going to draw for even more, that run rate with that dot ball. And so Brooker 5 from 19 at the moment, 17 for 2. Leicestershire look a little bit lost out there. They are struggling. After 7 overs, need to pick it up at some stage. Other scores going on at the moment. The test match is about to start, isn't it? I'm sure there would have been some other 10:30 starts. Yeah, there you go. Worcestershire 38 for 1 at Gloucestershire. In this group, Middlesex play Derbyshire at 11:30. Glamorgan against Kent 2:30. And the new bowler is going to be Sims. Alenia Sims, what a nice name. 2 for 66 of the 11 overs in the competition so far. That's just a little bit short and means that Davies can heave that over to mid-wicket. It's fielded there and they're going to run well, come back for 2. 19 for 2. Tossed up outside off stump. It's a good ball. There's just a bit of bounce in that pitch. Looks about a half volley length, but ended up going over the bat. Might well have just been misjudged off the line. It may have been a bit shorter than I thought it was. Sims, that again back of the length, and that's dropped at short mid-wicket. Should have been taking that chance. Just drop that length back a bit. I can see why Davies went for the shot, but it was hit straight at short mid-wicket. That should have been taken. Sims bowls down the track, comes Davies, and that was a pleasant shot actually, but straight at short cover. And that's carved straight at short cover. And there is no run. Sims tosses this one up, big flight on that, and that's swept really well, and that's beaten the infield. That's wonderfully placed by Davies. It's not going to run away for 4, though I thought it was initially. It's a fielder running round from deep square leg, able to get it. And so that is the end of the over. 4 off it. So the run rate's still at 2.5. 21 for 2 of 8 overs is the score. It's part of a double header today. Leicestershire's men host Yorkshire later. Oh, am I seeing drops of rain on the window there? Let's hope it's not too much. Up in the commentary box. So Russell to bowl her second over. 3 runs came off the first. That's a good Yorker outside off stump. That's the delivery. You can very little to do anything about that. Yorker length outside off stump. You certainly can't hit that for a 6. And again, I just don't think Brooker was expecting that delivery. Russell. Wide outside off stump. Too wide this time. Smashed down the ground that time, and the shy comes at the stumps. That was one of those risky drives to mid-on, and I think had there been a direct hit, I think Davies would have been in trouble. Sorry, Brooker would have been in trouble. She moves on to 6 from 21. Her strike rate will be what? Not very much. 26. think it was a slow start if this was a first class match. Davis 12 off 16, a little bit more aggressive. It's a decent delivery that from Davis. That was an uppish drive. Didn't come forward enough at that, Davis, and so it's safe, that edge. It was a thick outside edge. I don't think it would have carried even if there was slips there, so a single onto 13. Drive, that's a better shot. Timed by Brooker. That's the first real one that she's been able to get away all day in this slot, and the field's well suited for that. It is fielded out in the deep. It was a half volley outside off stump. Comes Russell again. Final ball of her second over, and that's a big hoik across the line. That's a shame, actually. It was well timed by Brooker, but finds the fielder out at deep square leg. So that's the end of the over. 27 for 2 the score, so the run rate up to 3 now. But what, they're on course overall to score 60 at the moment. They're nearly halfway through the innings, and 30 not yet on the board. Oh, there's an appeal for low before wicket. That's very close. That was out. That was plumb. Tossed up, crashed on the pads. And there's a wicket for Sims. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much more plumb than that, does it? Spinning in off the surface, back pad, right in front of middle stump. And Brooker goes for what was a pretty strained 9 runs off 24, really. 27 for 3 is the score. So this was the partnership that won Leicestershire the game really last week against Sussex. Davis and Watson. Davis got 40, Watson 23. They're going to have to rescue Leicestershire in more ways than one. Sims in, that's too short, and that's pulled away first ball by Watson. Well, that's a nice gift for your first ball, isn't it? Having bowled a near perfect off spinner, the delivery before that tucked Brooker up for space. Perfect line length, perfect flight. That one was just too short, and so Watson was able to crunch that away. It's been a good T20 blast for Watson. 51 runs so far. 31 for 3 the score. And that's a big slog. Watson has come in to play aggressively. There are 3 fielders out in the deep on the leg side. That just shows you just how good a placed shot that was by Watson the first time round. That one was more uppish and finds the fielder. You're long on, deep mid-wicket that's quite straight. And then deep, so I guess that's a deep square leg. But again, a little bit straighter than a square leg umpire. As Sims comes in, and that's cut out to deep cover. So this will be, just going to have a look at the highest scoring over so far, which was 6. And we've already had 6 off the over, so this should be the most expensive over. 2 balls left in it, and a wicket has come from it. Watson has come in to smash it around by the looks of things. Sims, back goes Watson and plays that. Sims in, and that's smacked down the ground. Not perfectly timed by Watson. That's sort of been the main, I don't know, the main characteristic of the day so far is the poor timing, but Watson has come in with some intent at least. Davis 14 off 19, Watson 6 off 4, 34 for 3 is the score on the YouTube stream for Leicestershire in this T20 Blast match between Northamptonshire and Leicestershire. So Liz Russell to bowl her 3rd over from the Bennett end, driven down the ground by Watson. Straight delivery that. And they decide against the 2nd, wisely I think. So Watson on to 7, 35 for 3 the score. Russell in, wide outside off stump. It's not a bad line actually to get to the players reaching for it. In comes Russell again. Thick outside. It's probably the toe of the bat actually, that from Davis. Run rate drops to 3.3. Pleasant drive that for a single out to cover. Really interested to see Northamptonshire bat on this. It looks like it'll be a low total anyway, probably under 100. But if there is plenty of life and a few demons in this pitch, then maybe the game isn't quite over yet, although I think Leicestershire are making hard work of it. Just haven't seen many players time anything. That's a rare, well-timed shot. flashed at that, and it beats the infield, but there are fielders out there. Just thinking, how many boundaries have we had in this innings? Is it 2? 2. One of those was lucky. So 4 off that over. 3.5 the run rate, but it's 38 for 3 off 11 overs, and Leicestershire just can't get going at all. They can't find the gaps. Change of bowling. Amelia Kemp is going to bowl. 6 overs have gone for 51 so far, so 8.5 economy rate, not too bad. And that's a brilliant shot. That's going to be 4. I think that should beat the field in the outfield. That was wonderfully timed by Davis. He might just have found a groove with that shot. It was too wide, bit of a loosener. And a lovely cut shot through 4 for 4. The field of deep cover is maybe about 10 metres in from the boundary rope, and that didn't help. You'll see on the replay in a second there, she's sort of running back in. Wonderful shot again, too short, bit of bounce off that, but the fielders move round from sort of deep cover to deep cover point to cut that off. Leading edge just dropped short. It may just have moved in from Watson, so just misjudged the line or didn't quite execute that shot properly, but it seemed there to be hit on a sort of leg stump line. Back goes Watson this time. And 2 timed well, so little, I guess, that there was no fielders in the infield, and that's a charge in 40-50 metres to get it. 45 for 3. That run rate heading up towards 4. Pulled round the corner this time. The fielder's out in the deep there on the leg side. They're just stopping any boundary, really. That's a poor ball, and that's going to be punished for 4. The lines and lengths from Northamptonshire have been incredibly consistent, but that one was strayed, and Kemp has lost a line a little bit there. It's an expensive over from her. And you don't need to do much as a batter to that, just glance it off the hips. You've got to credit Northamptonshire's bowling. The lines and lengths have been pretty much spot on. They've bowled to their fields too. As you can see in that over, I think that's probably what Kemp was trying to do, bowl straight to all the fielders out on the boundary on the leg side to Davis, but that was too straight, and so it's glanced away for 4. $50 for 3. The 50 up after 12 overs. There's a new bowler, Patel, at the far side. 2 for 66 off her 10 overs so far, so going at 6.6. Small diminutive bowler, reverse sweep that barely gets a touch on it, and that throw is hit. That's hit Davis as she comes through. Well worth a shy though from the wicket keeper. Chloe Hill, not well timed at all that. Patel's going to get a lot of flight, I reckon. If you tend to be smaller, you tend to flight the ball. We've got that as well with that wrist spin to backward point, no run. She's already been pretty tight on the bowling, Davis. She imagines she will here. There's the reverse sweep, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. Did that come off the wicket keeper and just go straight through over the stumps, or was there bat on that? There's no run either way. See there, Davis batting with incredibly open stance. You can see all three of her stumps. Just trying to try and force that away on the offside. There is a gap over a cover, but there's the more orthodox sweep. Crunches into, well, it doesn't crunch into the bat, it goes straight through. It's a wide. Halfway through the 13th over, there's a change in the field here. There's a leg side fielder going into the offside. I think with all those reverse sweeps and paddles coming into a short third man position. So you've got a backward point and short third man. And bowler! Beautifully flighted, that perfect line and length. Well, you don't know whether to come forward or back to that. And if you watch the replay, it just holds its line, doesn't it? Doesn't move too much. A nice flat spinner. That has meant Davis has to depart for 25 off 29. Leicestershire in further trouble here. They're losing wickets at regular intervals, and there aren't the runs on the board. So the new batter is Chisel. Got a 2-ball duck last Sunday. Very good bowler for Leicestershire is Chisel. And her first ball is struck on the pad. Appeal for low before wicket, not given. Not towards the replay. That may have pitched outside leg stump. Bowling to Patel, it looks straight. So what's the replay of this? Ooh, that's tight, that. Not missing much. Driven down the ground by Chisel, who's off the mark. 23 runs in 3 innings so far, but 20 of those came in 1 innings. 53 for 4 is the score. With Leicestershire in a huge amount of trouble. 4.1 the run rate. 53 for 4 the score. So Kemp to bowl her second over. The first one went for 12, and that's a mistimed drive to make it 13 off 1.1 overs. Kemp out. That's a short delivery and wide, and probably should have been punished more by Watson. We get a single. There's a shot at the stumps and an appeal for a run out there. It's Kemp again, short and wide, and again not punished, but they are going to get through for a single. It's a good stop from cover from Patel, who is sadly going to be punished for it by conceding a run, but that was a very good stop at close range, because that was barrelling away for 4. Pulled off stump that by Watson for a single. Driven, very well stopped at mid-off, but it may be in vain. No, that is going to stop before the boundary. That's a really good stop, and a stop to certain boundary. We still have only had 4 boundaries in the entire innings, and 3 of them have come from Flora Davis. Watson with the other one. 60 for 4, that run rate at 4.3. Kemp the most expensive over. We've had 7 off it so far. That's going to be a wide, and it might be more than just a wide. At least a couple will be run there. Just 1. So it costs 2 for Northamptonshire, who will be very happy with their decision to choose to field in this game. Kemp back carted over to deep mid wicket. It's fielded, and 2 more added to the total. So that's the end of the over, the 14th. 10 off it in the end, I think. .11 from Kemp, who's the only player who's conceded runs at an expensive rate, really. She's going at 11.5 and over. So Patel to bowl her second over. First one was successful. She had a very good LBW shot and did get a wicket. 64 for 4. The run rate 4.5. There's only 5 overs left. 6 overs left. And bowled. Watson has to go, and she held a lot of hope in this innings. Full, straight and quick from Patel, and a 5th wicket for Leicestershire falls. Northamptonshire all over Leicestershire like a rash there. And Watson, I just think bamboozled by the length there. Yep, just wasn't expecting it to be so full. On a Yorker length, and it goes through it. So Watson has to depart for 14. And 64 for 5 is a pretty ugly looking scoreline. Other scores at the moment. There's one other 10:30 game, wasn't there, in Division 2 of this competition. Worcestershire 78 for 4 off 16, so everybody's struggling to score runs. Middlesex against Derbyshire is at 11:30, and then Glamorgan against Kent at 2:30. In the top division, the Blaze 39 for 1. That game must have started at 11 against Lancashire. Somerset against Warwickshire, and then Essex against Hampshire later on. So Amy Colquhoun is the new batter. As part of the doubleheader, of course, there's men's and women's cricket on today. Leicestershire's men taking on Yorkshire later. There's also the Test match. I think 6 wickets fallen for England. Patel really tosses that one up. I think that hit her on that was hit away from on a low full toss by Colquhoun. 88 for 6, New Zealand. So they need 166 to win with 4 wickets to go. It's bizarrely a county championship match today. Surrey playing Hampshire in the men's county championship. Back goes Chisel. That was a good delivery. Forced Chisel onto the back foot from a full delivery, which tells you it's a good length delivery. It's got a bit colder out there. A few specks of rain seems to have gone away. What a windy afternoon, or windy morning, as there's a sweep from Chisel. It's a bit of an under edge on it. It's a great throw. Knocks the top of off stump out of the ground. 65 for 5. That run rate is staying steady at 4.5. You're looking at 90 as a total if you carry on that run rate. Mind, Northamptonshire have lost 2 of their 3 games in the T20 Blast Division 2. Leicestershire have won 2 of 3. That's a full toss. That's whacked by Colquhoun and beats the fielder. It goes over her head. Basically, it's spilt by deep backward square leg, and there's a 4. That was a slog. He's going to be lucky, I think, Patel, if that's not given as a no ball as well. It hasn't been given as a no ball, but that got the punishment it deserved. Certainly deserved a boundary. It was such a poor ball. Clubbed by Colquhoun off a full length. Actually, looking at that again, it was at waist height, wasn't it? As Patel is in, that's defended by Colquhoun. That is the end of the over. 15 overs gone. 70 for 5 is the score here. Leicestershire picking up a little bit. 2 for 9 though, Patel's over, so there's 6 off that, but a wicket. So the last few overs we've had 12 off the 12th, 11 off the 13th, 9th off the 15th. But Sims brought back in, no one list, 1 for 11 from 2 overs. Kemp a little bit expensive. From the pavilion end. That's outside off stump but not punished. Sims in. That's just too short. It means that Chisel can rock back and pull that behind square on the leg side. It's just another single. We have not had enough boundaries in this innings for Leicestershire. It's a straight delivery. That would have been a ludicrous LBW appeal had it been fully gone through with by Sims. It was going well down the leg side. 2.3 overs, 1 for 12. Just a 1 off this over so far. Very tight for the 16th. Cut away, square of the wicket. For no runs, so still just 1 off the over. Just a bit of a delay as Colquhoun does her shoelaces. Gets herself back up, puts those gloves on. It's a square leg umpire's job to do that, isn't it? Sims then tosses this one up, and that's a clever delivery. You can see your eyes lighting up. Colquhoun probably sensible to rock back to it, but just played it into the ground. There is no run. So 1 ball left off the over. There's just 1 off it. That run rate again steady around 4.5, dropping down after this over. What a great over for Northamptonshire this is. Sims comes in, and that's going to be a single for Colquhoun, as it's just to the right of backward point. So a very good over that from Sims and for Northamptonshire. 72 for 5 is the score. The Fox is still on course for about 90, which you have to think is nowhere near enough. So there's the scorecard for you from a Leicestershire perspective. Davis 25 off 29 deliveries, Watson and 14. It has been slow going. If you look at that Becky Brooker innings at the top, 24 balls taken to just get 9 runs. That sort of sums up what kind of batting it has been for the Foxes. What can Chisel and Colquhoun get out of this though? As that ball's tossed up, and it's played behind square on the offside for a single. Single's not enough really from here on in. Attempt to smash that down the ground, and the frustration from the fielder at mid-on there, and you can see why. He's fielded very well there. The attempt would have been to pick that up and throw that one-handed. There could have been a shy at the stumps, but I think the pressure of taking that run against her put her off somewhat. Patel 2 for 11 off 2.2 overs. Another dot ball outside off stump, just slowed that down. Got a bit of spin on that, did Patel. Colquhoun comes down to the pitch of the ball, and we'll just get a single to mid-wicket. There's not 2 there. Patel swept up in the air. It's going to fall just short of the fielder. Very lucky that from Chisel. It's a reverse sweep and got a top edge on it. I don't think Patel will mind it too much. Just 4 off the over at the moment. Colquhoun hits that top edge. Great one-handed catch. Not timed by Colquhoun. It was there to be hit again. It was a full toss, and it was whacked by Colquhoun, but straight at Patel. And Colquhoun, who has showed some intent in her innings, has just whacked that back straight at her, and her innings has to go. It's another wicket. A sixth one falls. Colquhoun has to go for 8, and the Foxes. Well, I think we're beyond all sorts of bother, aren't we? This is just a very, very low total, and an innings that has never really got going. Phillips, the new batter. That was the end of the Patel over. Just 4 off it, and the run rate's still at 4.5, 76 for 6. Sims is going to come in, and she's crunched down the ground for 4. That is a much needed boundary from Chisel. It's a wonderful shot, hit straight as a dart down the ground. And Phillips punished there, having had great figures before. 1 for 8 off 3, I think she is. Yeah, run rate of 2.67. That's the first boundary she's conceded. So 80 for 6. That'll do Leicestershire no end of harm. No. Do them very good. That's the phrase I was looking for. There you go. Don't know what phrase I was searching for there. 80 for 6. As we enter the 18th over. Hoik across the line to mid-wicket. That's a very risky run, but the mid-direct hit misses. It would have been well short Chisel had it hit. That's just how desperate they are for runs at the moment. In comes Phillips, toss that one up. It's begging to be hit, and it's a great shot for Phillips' first ball. It was right in the slot, that full on a half volley length, and there are plenty of fielders out there, but it split them in 2. So despite the despairing dive of long on, it's raced away to the boundary rope, moved right across the stumps there, as you can see, got herself in position, and that's a sublime shot. You can see, just split those 2 fielders. 85 for 6. It's a good over for Leicestershire. They've got 9 off it already. And that's crunched into the pad. They're going to run through for a quick leg bye here. Shy at the stumps, but they are in. Good running. Phillips, great. That's a right shot that from Chisel, but didn't quite execute it. Inside edge onto the pad. In comes Phillips, outside edge. That's sort of what you want, really. That's not a bad shot in terms of outcome. They'll get 2. They're running through for the second. There's going to be a run out here. That was a silly call for the second run. The fielder was basically there by the time they decided to run and go for it. So Phillips is going to have to go. And there's a 7th wicket that falls. That's a strange decision, that, because Leicestershire, these 2 looks in the over that we've seen them to be playing with quite a bit of intent. I don't know whether it's to keep Chisel at the other end. As you can see the confusion in the communication there. So Phillips has to go from 4 from 3. So the new batter is Singh. Indira Singh. Who's only had one innings and got 5 runs in it. And he comes down the track to play that down the ground, and we'll just get 1, surely not 2 this time. Chisel now on to 19 with that drive, so Singh is going to face the second ball of the 19th over. This is the penultimate one. They will get past 90. Their run rate up to about 5 now. Still can't think that it's enough though. Back goes Singh and glances that away, probably just to get... Oh, they're going to go for the second. That's very good running. They often say don't go run on a misfield, but fielder there sort of ran past it and looks ruefully at the pitches. I don't know whether it got stuck in there or if studs got stuck in the old pitches, but she bought herself a extra run there. So Singh on to 2, sweeps that and gets a feathered inside edge, and it's beaten the infielder at short fine legs. She will catch up to it though as it runs towards the boundary. So it's 2 more to Leicestershire, so 5 off this over already. Patel 3 for 18 now off 3.3 overs. Who's bowled wonderfully. The bowling figures Reed, who I suspect will bowl the last over. 3, 1 for 5. Phillips 1 for 19 off 4. Patel bowls down the ground, goes Singh, and we'll get a single this time to long on. Russell 3 for 13, Sims 1 for 13 off 3, but both those near identical figures. Kemp the only bowler to go around the ground a bit, none for 23 off 2. But then Patel looking to finish off her spell here, 3 for 19 off 3.4. That run rate has now crept up to 5. Driven down the ground and through the legs of Patel, but well fielded at mid-off. So just a single. Patel tosses this one up full toss length, and that is whacked. Oh, and it's misfielded and it's going to run away for 4. That looked like it spat off the outfield a little bit, maybe misjudged by the fielder. That's a good end to the over for Leicestershire. 99 for 7, they'll get 100, which didn't look likely at one stage. They were in all sorts of trouble a while ago, where it didn't look like they'd even get to, I don't know, 60, 70 when they were 34 for 3 off 10 overs, 38 for 3 off 11. But they have worked their way up to 100, and Singh with a vital 4 there right at the end. So 11 off that last over from Patel, whose figures have been ruined a little bit. 99 for 7 the score. And the run rate now 5.2, so what do we reckon? 110 would be good for Leicestershire if they can make that. Chisel with a vital 20 off 17 will probably be key to it if she does get it. Live T20 blast action on the Leicestershire YouTube stream. Adam Whitty with you. And it's going to be Sims, in fact, to bowl the final over from the pavilion end. And they've stacked the offside field with infielders. Sims bowls outside off stump, and it beats the infield first go. They're obviously trying to get her to play aggressive shots in that department. It's going to run away. There's a slip, though, from Chisel. So she's only going to get 2. May not have been able to get 3 anyway, but that slip certainly meant there was no chance of it. In comes Sims, straight to delivery, great scoop that. And that's racing away behind square on the offside. Not perfectly timed, so fielder out there's going to be able to run in and get it. So 4 off the first 2 deliveries of the final over. Sims whacked for 4, and again that beats the infield. I'm not sure that fielding tactic has worked to bring in all the infielders on the offside and try and keep it tight, because they're piercing the infield on every occasion at the moment. 2 more. Three balls left in the innings. Sims to bowl, and that's clubbed down the ground. There's a fielder at long on who will stop that. So 1 for 20 Sims's figures now. They looked for the 2, but that's 7 off the final over. 106. I think 110 seems like a reasonable target at the moment. I think Northamptonshire will fancy themselves to chase this down, whatever it is. 106 for 7, 2 balls left. Singh on 9. It's been a good little cameo this, 9 off 4. Chisel's 27 off 21 though. Top scorer now. That's been the main linchpin of the innings. It's Singh who waits though, with Sims bowling from the pavilion end. And that's a good slower ball, and bamboozled her on length, I think that ball did. It was shorter than Singh was expecting, so just turns it round square of the wicket to get a single. So 1 ball left, 107 for 7, Chisel on strike. Who's the player you would want on strike? Bit of sun poking through the clouds, high white, very light grey clouds around us. The final ball of this, the Leicestershire innings, is whacked in the air, and it's dropped! And they'll get a single. 108 for 7 is the final total for Leicestershire. They never really got going at the start of the innings. They ate up plenty of deliveries, which may well have cost them in the end. And as I said, very difficult to recover, despite their best attempts when after 11 overs you are 38 for 3. But some big hitting towards the end, with notable innings from Flora Davis, and with a very vital 27 from Caitlin Chisel, has meant that they have got over 100 and have set 109 to win for Northamptonshire, who bowled very, very well indeed. You have to give them credit. They bowled to their fields. They bowled very tight, I thought, too. Particular credit to Patel, 3 for 24 from her 4 overs. Sims 1 for 22, and then Reed and Phillips started the innings off very well. I mean, look at that run rate, 1.67 off Reed's overs. So 109 is the target for Northamptonshire. I'm sure they will fancy themselves to get that. We will be back after the interval to bring you that chase. Well, welcome back to our coverage on the Leicestershire YouTube stream of this Women's T20 Division 2 match between the Foxes and Northamptonshire. Leicestershire struggling, having been put in to bat by Northamptonshire, scoring just 108 for 7 at under a run a ball. So 109 is the target for Northamptonshire to win their second game of the Blast. And for Leicestershire's 2-game winning run to end. It's part of a double header. Stay tuned on the stream if you weren't going to already. There's men's cricket to follow between Leicestershire and Yorkshire. But Marriott and Reed, the two batters. And Thatcher is going to be the bowler for Leicestershire. 5 wickets so far. The top wicket taken, going at 5 and over 2 is Thatcher. And just going to bowl left arm round, left arm over the wicket, I should say, to Marriott, who's going to face the first delivery. 74 runs in 3 innings so far. So 109 the target. And off the mark, I think off the pad there, that looked like it glanced the back leg or the thigh pad of Marriott there. So 108 to win. Fascinated to see how this pitch plays, really. Because Leicestershire really struggled to get the ball away and get any timing on the pitch, and we'll see whether that was bad batting or if there's just some issues in the pitch. Bowling wide, so down the leg side won't help. Bit of movement though from Thatcher, which will be reassuring. That's the perfect length there, moving right back off the seam. Lovely shape on that delivery from Thatcher. 2 for no loss. So it's difficult with that angle. Left arm over bowling to a right-handed batter. Moving back into them. And that's hit high up in the air over the infield. There's a fielder at short extra cover who that lobbed over, and mid-off runs round to field. So Reed off the mark. There's the first runs off the bat of this innings. And there's the same shot straight to the fielder and taken. Thatcher bowling that on the right length, full, basically trying the same thing again, full up in the block hole, trying to get the drive, and the trap was set and it worked, straight to mid-off, lobbed it up, and that's a dolly of a catch. Perhaps slightly naive batting considering what we've just seen, but I think you're already seeing that the timing isn't quite there, but a good take by Becky Brooker. And 3 for 1, Leicestershire off to the perfect start. 109 is the target to win, so they need 106 to Northampton. They've got 9 wickets in hand. The new batter, Kemp. That's the 6th wicket in the T20 Blast for Thatcher. Strong first delivery again, that from Thatcher, who's got a line right now. And it's again still getting that shape in. Movement probably only lasts 2 or 3 overs. So wide. Big appeal for a leg before wicket, always difficult from that angle to get that decision. And that's the end of a successful first over for Leicestershire, 4 for 1. They'll be happy with that, getting the early breakthrough to put the pressure on Northamptonshire's batters. And it's a good shout, that, probably going down the leg side. I can see why that was given, not out. But Kemp was batting right across the stump, so you can see that it was a close call, that, and see whether there was a big appeal from the Leicestershire players. The new bowler is Phillips, and the first ball hits into the pads, and no run coming there. So the required run rate 5.5 and over. That sort of snuck up a tiny bit after that first over. It's a full delivery outside off some swipe tap by Reed, just gets a single there. Phillips driven uppishly but through the gap for 4. Wonderfully timed that, even though it was a little bit uppish, and there are fielders in the offside in the ring. It was so beautifully timed, it would have been a challenge to catch anyway. The two fielders are out on the leg side, so it's not the best bowling from Phillips really. He's got no protection out there. But 4 runs, the first boundary of this innings. Shape moving into the right-hander this time. Leicestershire getting the ball to talk. You can see it on the camera there. It's a dot ball again. So 5 off this over, but that was a lovely in-swinging Yorker. Phillips bowls, and that's turned around the corner. There's a fielder out there running round from deep backwards square leg. The target, so 99 to win. Already starting off at a much quicker pace, and they haven't had it easy. Northamptonshire bowled. Well, there's a commentator's curse striking as Kemp bowls Reed for 2. Full delivery, just sort of played all round that. Did Reed by the looks of things. So watch the replay on that. It looked just like a full straight delivery. Bit of loop in it, yeah, just a full straight delivery. Look, maybe sunk in the pitch there. Hit right at the root of the stumps, didn't it? It's a great start for the Foxes. They've lost 2 wickets in this chase. Not as easy as it might have looked at first sight. DLS Par is now 18, so they are behind the game due to those early wickets. Phillips with 6 off the over, but a wicket. Thatcher to start her second over. That's a gorgeous drive straight at cover. Brilliant shot for none. Run rate 5.5 still, they're just behind it. Only pressure really coming from the loss of wickets. That's that age-old stat about the amount of wickets you lose in the power play. That the only threat to Saints, you would say. It's a lovely delivery, swinging Yorker and out. Beautiful shape on that delivery. Kemp has to go. You got the sense that was nice and straight. There was nearly an LBW in the previous delivery, but that beautiful angle in, that shape in from the left-hander. Left-arm bowler, I should say, back into a right-handed batsman. Yeah, that's pitched in line, and that looks like it's crashing into middle and leg, doesn't it? A 3rd wicket for Leicestershire, and this is a very low-scoring game by the looks of things. Northamptonshire in all sorts of trouble. They're 10 for 3 in pursuit of 109. England 2 wickets away from victory in the Test match. So wind's picking up. You can hear the howls there, can't you? Gales and howls mixed up there. Thatcher 2 for 3 off 1.2 overs. Bowles, that's a great straight delivery. Just moving that line a little bit across more towards the off stump, but that shape is gorgeous. Pressure building. So look at where Leicestershire were at the same point. 10 after 2.5 overs. 6 for no loss. Thatcher in down the leg side. On the leg side again. Thatcher wider, that was there to be hit, but is hit just straight at short extra cover. 1 ball, 2 balls left in the over. Thatcher, again, that lovely shape, and that's a pleasant drive, well read from Ascot, but she can't get the ball away. And if it wasn't for the wides, that would have been a wicket made, and as it is, 2 for 5, Thatcher's figures, and in pursuit of 109, 12 for 3 is the score. Northamptonshire in quite a bit of trouble here. Marriott out for a duck, then Reed and Kemp going to Thatcher. Thatcher bowling beautiful in-swingers to the right-hander. And 2 for 5 are very good figures. 1 for 6 for Phillips, I would imagine, will bowl the next over. So it is going to be Phillips to continue from the bellied end. That's a full delivery and carved with a horizontal bat behind square on the offside. It's running away to the boundary and gets there. Perfectly timed that by Clive, the new batter. Races away for 4 runs. It's a slower delivery from Phillips that just outwitted Clive somewhat there. So that's 2 dot balls in a row after that first ball 4. Nicely turned by Clive behind square on the offside. It's already beaten her best score of the season with 5 there. 4 in her first innings of the campaign. Phillips running in towards us. Crunch down the ground, not fully timed. So a single can be taken. 6 off the over so far. Run made at 4.7. It needs to be at 5.5. The issue is the wickets have fallen early doors. And there's a drive down the ground. They're going to go for the single again. That wasn't out of the middle. So the fielder had to do quite a bit of work. And that's the end of the over. 7 off it, which I suppose you can see is good from a Northamptonshire perspective, but they're going to have to pick themselves up from what was a very difficult position in this game. They are chasing 109, so they need 90 to win off 16 overs at 5.5. No surprise to see Thatcher carrying on. And that's a straighter delivery across the line. And without that shape, it's easier to hit away with the angle. That went right across and cut for 4 by Clive. He's got a second 4 of the innings already. I don't know whether that was deliberate to go across the batter, having bowled mostly in swing so far, or perhaps the swing has gone. Does often only last 3-4 overs in the white ball format. Thatcher in. Again, that was a straighter delivery. That would look like more like a intended in-swinger. Baseball style whack into the leg side. .24 for 3 the score. Back goes Ascot this time. We're going to single to. So it's got a square fine leg running round. Thatcher full and on what would have been a leg stump line, I think, but maybe just outside of it, but crunches into the pad. So a leg by. Nice cut shot that, and it's found the gap. Now Northamptonshire just seeming to find a little bit of freedom and finding the gaps towards the end of the power play. They don't get a boundary for that. It's quite a long boundary over on the offside from the pavilion ends from the right-hander. And so they're able to run 3. 29 for 3. So expensive over so far from Thatcher. 10 off it, including the leg by. Thatcher bowls down the leg side, so you're going to have to bowl that one again. Thatcher bowls, defended. And that's the end of the over. Well, an expensive one for Leicestershire. 30 for 3. They don't have a lot of runs to play with. The run rate up to 6 now, so it's dropped that required run rate to 5.27. 109 the target, 30 for 3 Northamptonshire are, so they need 79 to win of 15 overs. It's going to be Indira Singh to bowl from the Bennett end. Crowd slowly filling up. It's actually quite a nice, got a decent healthy crowd for the early start on a Sunday. Singh is in bowls and back from Ascot. Decent start, decent line and length that. Oh, so Yorker length, that dipped right at the last moment. It's going to be an inside edge that's going to run away for 4. Very lucky from Ascot. But the desired result from a Northamptonshire perspective was a very good ball from Indira Singh. Right in the block hole. She's expecting it to bounce before her, so an inside edge that ran away. So the run's beginning to flow now. So good ball, squares Ascot up. cut behind square. It's a great stop by Colquhoun. Short third man. Diving to her left and stopping what would have been a certain 4. Get a single. Driven back. Drivens to extra cover where there is no run. Good battle between bat and ball and a good first over from Singh. 5 off it. If Northamptonshire don't lose wickets, they will win this game. It's all about whether Leicestershire can take wickets in time before they get there. But with 6 overs gone, they're well over a third. They're about a third of the way there, aren't they, Northamptonshire, with just 6 overs gone. So, end of the power play, 35 for 3. If you put Leicestershire in a similar position at the end of the power play, they were 14 for 2. So there is quite a sizable difference. They've pushed themselves clear. It's just the fact that the wickets have fallen a little bit that will be a cause for concern for them. Chisel, great with the bat. What can she do with the ball? A bit of outswing. Looping, hooping swing from Chisel away from Ascot. Chisel, 4 wickets at 9 and over she's going at. 18 average. Should look at the figures of the 2 Northamptonshire batters. In fact, I'll bring you those in a second. As Chisel bounds in. Again, outswing and tempting line and length. Beautiful swing. Ascot, 23 runs in 3 innings, but 21 of them have come in at 1 knock. And then Clive, this just her second innings, and you got 4 in the first. This is a great battle between bat and ball at the moment. Chisel getting the ball to talk at the end of the power play. That's a straighter delivery. Moves back to Ascot and punches it down the ground where there is a single. 73 to win. In the air, just short of Colquhoun. Chipped up in there, bit of a leading edge that. Thick outside edge, I should say. It's a hoik across the line. Pick up a single. Good running. It's a very good call, that, from Ascot at the non-striker's end. And that's a good over from Chisel. First 3 balls, the ball was hooping and moving all over the place, and just 4 singles off the back of that. 39 for 3 is the score. The target 109. And if you look at those run rates and the required run rate on your screen, they're pretty much similar now, which tells you we are in for a tricky chase. They've called up with the DLS par, which is always a good measure. That's at 40. close to 5 runs off Singh's first over and a dot to start. Another dot. Full delivery from Singh, just on the toe of the bat, digs that Yorker out. Singh building nice pressure. Lovely late cut to Colquhoun again, who's well placed. He's been running the centre of action, has Colquhoun. Stops another one there. There's a reverse scoop. There's an appeal for leg before wicket. All sorts going on there. There's a woody sound in there. The umpire just made a signal to Singh, didn't she? Let's have a look at the replay there. Thought I heard a woody sound. The attempted scoop, yes, off the bat. Oh, and it hit the stumps. Goodness me, I didn't see that. Hit the base of the stumps. And the bails didn't come off. Wow. Appeal for leg before wicket. It's probably going down the leg side. Strangled appeal from the bowler. Shy comes in at the stumps, and a single is managed by the two Northamptonshire batters. Things slowing up a little bit now for Northamptonshire from their perspective. Last few overs haven't gone for too much, have they? 4 run, 5, yeah, so 11 off the 5th, and then 5, 4, or just 3 off that over in the end, 1 off the bat to affect Singh's figures. So 42 for 3 is the score, and now the run rate required is above the run rate that Northampton are going at. They will feel comfortable, as previously stated, though, as long as they have those wickets in hand. Chisel, none for 4 off his first over. It's a lovely shot, guided away, beats the fielder at short fine leg. It'll be 2 in fact. There's a run out chance here, but it was fumbled. By the wicket keeper. And Watson. So let's have a look at some of the other scores. 1 wicket needed for England to win the Test match, I can see there. Whipped away into the leg side for another single. Leicestershire strangling Northamptonshire somewhat. So in this division, 3 games underway. Glamorgan look like they're, sorry, Gloucestershire I should say, look like they're going to beat Worcestershire. They need 21 from 8.4 overs to beat them. Swing and a miss. Gloucestershire 83 for 1 in pursuit of 102. Middlesex are 132 for 3 of 17.5 overs. In the top division, right across the stumps, Ascot meant they're trying to force the issue now, Northamptonshire. They can't have 2 there. I don't think that would have been very unwise. The Blaze have set Lancashire 136 to win. Warwickshire 94 for 8 against Somerset. And then later on, we've got 2 games. Essex against Hampshire at 2 o'clock. And then Glamorgan against Kent at 2:30. Chisel, looping bounce, and she's played on. Swing and a miss. Sorry, loads of swing on that from Chisel. We re-watched the shape on this delivery as it moved away from the batter. She went for that drive through the covers and then played it straight on. So a wicket falls at a key moment for Leicestershire. 46 for 4 is the score, and Clive, who looked to force the issue a bit but had slowed down, has to depart, and this game is well up for grabs at the moment in the T20 Blast. Look at that swing, that's it, that's what does it right at the end. And it's a muted reaction. But it's the end of the over. 1 for 8, Chisel. It's almost single-handedly winning the game for Leicestershire at the moment. A vital knock with the bat. And now with the ball, she's doing the business too. 109 the target. So 63 needed to win off 11 overs, but with 6 wickets in hand. Singh going at 3 and over, but a wide to start us off. Wide ball again. Starting over with 2 wides, Singh. Oh, appeal for leg before wicket. Big shout that. Might just be going over. What's the replay there? Here it comes. Oh no, go down the leg side. Didn't spot the swing live. Hill the new batter, but Ascot probably holds the key for Northamptonshire. Another dot ball. That's going to be an 8 ball over, isn't it? It's another very good Yorker, that from Singh, dug out. Driven into the offside. There's a single there. That's a ropey throw coming in from that short third man. Backward point more, really. 50 up. And the pressure building on Northants now. That required run rate is rising. Oh, appeal for low before wicket. That's close again. Might be going down the leg sides. Bit of swing and shape on that too. Another dot ball. And that is the end of the 10th over. So 50 for 4 is the score. So 4 off the over, but 2 of them wide. Without that, Singh kept it very tight. This is obviously quite a low-scoring pitch. I'm intrigued to see how the men get on later too. I thought 109 looked like a well under par score. But Northamptonshire showing that there is a few demons in the pitch and that it is difficult to bat on the halfway stage. Then 50 for 4 is the score, so it's 59 off 60. The issue is that it's such a low total, you can just knock it around really. If you can find the gaps, you can go to run a ball and you'll win with the odd boundary. Chisel 1 for 8 off 2 overs. And bowls a beauty first up. That is gorgeous. Moving away from Hill. That's wide though. Just overshot that in terms of the length. Chisel, slower ball, straighter. Another dot ball. Let's have a look at the last few overs. So since 11 runs came in the 5th over to take them 30 for 3, we've had 5, 4, 3, 4 and 4. So the pressure really building on Northamptonshire. And that's going to be a single deflected by Chisel, who's 27 with the bat. Allowed Leicestershire to post any sort of total at all. It's an in-swinger from Chisel this time. You know, the ball to move both ways. You don't often see the ball moving that much in the 11th over of a T20 game. 56 now needed to win off 55. Whipped away wristily for another single. Just the 4 off the over. It's not enough for Northamptonshire. The end of the 11th over. Northamptonshire are 54 for 4 in pursuit of 109, so they need they're halfway there. They need 55 or 54. And Charlie Keaton to bowl the 12th over of the game. Tosses it up, does Keaton, just like that. And there's a sweep. And that might run away for 4. Actually, no, there's a fielder running round. Thought it was a bit finer than it was. Bit of miscommunication between the runners, but they get back for 2. Attempted sweep, but it's missed, so it's a wide. It's Keaton again. Tossed this one up, driven to extra cover, no run. Lovely flight on the delivery from Keaton. Good running. Singles will do, but it'll just bring the tension up. Leicestershire will always feel they're in the game. A few boundaries will really put them on the back foot. But this is the problem with such a low total. Leicestershire would just feel like they're up against it the whole time. There's another single. So that's the end of Keaton's first over. 6 off it in the end. 48 from 48 is the equation for Northamptonshire to win this game. Singh to bowl as the wind just picks up a little bit. 6.4 overs, no wickets for 49, so going at 7.3, not a bad economy rate for her. These two did really well against Sussex on Friday. For a single to cover. Back goes Tika Singh, whips this away. Back goes Ascot off Tika Singh, I should say, and we're going to single for that again. Big hoik over the head, and that'll be 4. It's one of those big boundaries that Northamptonshire needed, really. It was too short from Tika Singh, and Ascot straight onto that in a flash. It's a baseball-style shot, really, but she's got 4. Just drops her line. This drops her length. And the fielder had no chance, really. That zoomed away. Tika Singh, slow and pulled, well waited for by Hill. 22 runs in 2 innings for Hill. Best of 17. So that's the end of the over from Tika Singh. A more expensive one, they're 10 off it. And 71 for 4 is the score. 38 needed off 8 overs, so it's 38 off 42. That's what that boundary does, really. They've still got the wickets in hand, have Northamptonshire, and a boundary, just a couple of boundaries, make the equation look a lot easier for them. Keaton to bowl from the Bennett end. That's a good full delivery, and they're going to get a single down the ground there. Despairing dive. Another dot from Keaton. Just 1 off 3 balls so far. No run there either. You can see the run rate required is 5.8. They're going at 5.3. Keaton back goes Ascot, guides this into the offside. It's a slow innings this, but it's an important one. 25 off 34 now. And that's going to be 4. Just a little feather on that shot from Northamptonshire. That reverse sweep was too short from Keaton. It meant that there was plenty of time to adjust and play that shot and get all that was needed on it. That's a big blow, that. And 2 boundaries in the last 2 overs have put Northamptonshire, I would suggest, in control of this game at the moment. 76 for 4 is the score in pursuit of 109. 33 of 36 is what is required. It's a big innings from Ascot, but that 4 from Hill, that reverse sweep, could have big implications. So the fielder's out at the moment. Deep backward square leg. We've got a deep middle wicket, deep cover that's about 10 metres in from the boundary rope, and a third man. Bowled! What a beauty from Chisel. Full length, a Yorker straight into the stumps. And Leicestershire fighting back. They're not out of this just yet. Went for the charge. Did Hill, and missed it entirely. Beautiful delivery, look at that. Perfect length. So 10 has to go. 33 from 35 with 5 wickets in hand. This could go down to the wire, you never know. Just needs an aggressive innings from Northamptonshire, you think, to finish it off. Chipped in the air, but safely. Might have been 2 there, but perhaps not worth the risk. New batter President off the mark with that, and so Ascot probably holds this game in her hands, I'd suggest. 32 from 33 needed. Chisel 2 for 13 with 3 balls left in her 4 overs. It's going to be 2 for 14. Shy at the stumps, misses. I think that would have been out if there was a direct hit. You can see the response from the Leicestershire players about that. Quick single, shy at the stumps again. They're taking risks with the running. Straight to short, fine leg. They get away with that. So just 3 off the over. And 2 of them were very dangerous indeed. 79 for 5, so 30 off 30. Run a ball needed still for Northamptonshire to win this game. And that 5th wicket falling with a beauty at the start of the over has pulled this game closer to Leicestershire. It's going to be Phillips to bowl from the Bennett end. 1 for 13 her figures off 2 previous overs, and swing on that. Sort of chipped into the leg side, scooped forward of square, and they're going to come back for 2 and get there comfortably. 29 off 28. Going for the run there. Again a risky run, but they're going to have to do that, but it was well taken. It wasn't overly well timed, which meant the fielder had to run in and try and salvage something there. England have won the test match by 115 runs. New Zealand 138 all out. 5 wickets for Gus Atkinson. Phillips, 3 balls left in the over, and that's not going to breach the infield. Sent back for a second. 4 off the over. Just get the sense they're not quite getting enough, Northamptonshire. Five, 3, and now 5 off this over so far. Those are the previous 2 overs, the 3 and 5. Big hoik, but not timed. Thick inside edge into mid wicket. It's definitely not 2 there. So another single. Just do with a boundary, I think, Northamptonshire. To make them feel a lot more secure. That's attempt to that was. You can see the flight of that ball dipping at the last minute. All Preston can do is play it down the ground. So 7 off the over. We've got 4 overs left, 23 to win. This is going to go down to the wire, I think, bar some big hitting coming from the Northamptonshire batters. You can see there, Ascot holds the key. It's really been her, only been her who's got going. 32 from 38. In terms of the bowlers, it's been a great bowling performance from Leicestershire. Thatcher 2 for 15. Chisel 2 for 15 off 4 overs. A wonderful spell from her. 3.75 and over. Only one bowler really expensive. Singh's been one of those bowlers who's bowled very well. Two for 15. Sorry, not 2 for 15. 0 for 10. None for 10 off 3 overs. Just going at 3 and over is Singh. Looping the ball nicely. She's bowling from the pavilion end. And that's hit high up in the air. It is over the infielders. That's a great hit. That's 4 runs. Made something out of nothing, really, Preston. That was just a good length ball from Singh, but really well timed whack over the infield. There's no fielders in the deep out there, so it surged to the boundary rope. 90 for 5. That feels like a big blow in this game. Under 20 to win now for Northamptonshire. As Singh comes in, flashed in the air, it's going to miss the infield, so it'll be at least 1, it's going to be 2. So now 17 to win off 22. Good ball that from Singh. 6 off the first 3 balls, though. 17 off 21. Leicestershire looking for 3 wickets. 3 wins in a row. This would end a run of 2 straight losses for Northamptonshire. Preston 13 waits. Hits across the line and we'll just get a single down the ground. 16 to win. Full delivery. Not quite sure she got all of that. There might be 2 there for the Northamptonshire batters. Yeah, they're coming through for the second. That's a good call from Presland at the non-striker's end to get the second. So now 14 off 19. Feels like Northamptonshire's game now. We've had 9 off the over already. Now the final ball. Final ball of Singh's spell 2. Let's hit down the ground. It's going to go for 4. Full toss from Singh. Just didn't quite execute that Yorker length, and it meant that Ascot could club her down the ground for 4 runs. And that may well be that. 14 it was before off 19, now 10 off 18 with 3 overs to go. And Northamptonshire now, you would think, well on top in this game and set for victory. So 3 overs left. Great anchor innings from Ascot. 38 off 14. President's played a decent little cameo here. 14 off 12. Keaton tosses this one up. That's 2 full, and that's going to be 4 runs. And if it wasn't decided already, I'd suggest it probably is now. That was a poor full toss from Keaton, who's bowled with real discipline before that. A leg side full toss is always going to get put away, and so it was. 6 to win off 17. This could all be over very quickly. Preslin's 18 off 13, absolutely priceless. 103 for 5. There's a appeal for leg before wicket there. The umpire unmoved. There's a shy at the stumps which misses, and they get a leg by. So 5 to win off 16. Keaton in. Flash to mid-wicket. Chance for a run out here. And not out. Would have been close, I think. Five off the over. It's another full toss. That's carted away. There's a fielder out at deep mid-wicket. Should be 2. They'll surely chance the arm there. No, they don't. They decide against it. So it's just a single. Probably not worth the risk. 4 off 14 required. And that's probably the winning shot. That's going to go for 4. Right to the pitch of it, over the top. The score's now tied. And that's the end of the 18th over. So just the one needed. It's a great shot from Preston. 22 off 15. It's been magnificent from her. And of course, it's the end of the game, isn't it? They're chasing 109, not matching 109. So that was the final moment of the game. Leicestershire have won. Sorry, Northamptonshire have won. They've chased down 109 with 13 balls remaining. Felt like a tight chase for most of it. But in the end, those partnership between Ascot and Preston seeing them over the line. Low scoring game, tight, intense, right up for grabs really for most of the game, you have to say. But it is Northamptonshire who end their 2-game losing streak and have won relatively comfortably in the end, chasing down a low total. Those early overs for Leicestershire, where they couldn't get the ball away, really the deciding factor. It gave Northamptonshire the freedom to attack that innings however they wanted. That is it from us on the stream. So Leicestershire lose their first game in 3, but a great win for Northamptonshire. We will be back for the men's game on this double bill and this double header at Uptonsteel Grace Road very shortly. That'll be about 2:25 that'll probably start, as we bring you full coverage of that on BBC Radio Leicester, as well as the YouTube stream on Leicestershire's account. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and we'll be back very shortly.